Hey everyone, my name is Rooster and welcome to Free for All. This Thursday, this new mode will be available for all of you to play. And in this video, I would like to show you guys how it works and give you guys some tips and tricks on what I believe will probably be strong. What will likely be the meta in this game mode so that you come in and you're at least prepared with some idea of what to do. So let's pick a specialist here. I'm actually going to try out the Rhino specialist because I want to go aggressive. So how does this mode work? It's a mix of basically standard gameplay with the survival mode for those of you who have played that, where each one of the players, so you can see over here, you can also click on the icons, it will show you what player is where on this map. And these four players are all trying to get in towards the center. So they're trying to beat the AI. This AI will have different setups for every single player, every single round. And then you can see these towers here in the middle. Now, these are not your regular towers. They actually offer you supplies for destroying them. And that's immediately where the first thing comes in, right? So if you have a strong comp, or if you manage to beat your opponent relatively quick, it means that you'll be able to, well, reap the rewards and perhaps get towards those towers, take them down, and have more supplies to spend in the future rounds. And with that, I would say that playing aggro probably has got its benefits here. This supply is currently 80 on the very first round. Let me just grab something real quick on Arclight here, maybe for some chaff clear. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Going aggro is likely not going to be the worst thing because it'll allow you to, well, of course, get in towards those towers ever so slightly quicker. The only problem you may have is that, as you can see, if you position aggressively, you may pull some of the AI units of your, well, opponents in this game mode. That's not necessarily a bad thing if you can kill them, because killing them will actually give you some additional supplies. And you can see here on the right how many additional supplies every single person is getting. And so I would say that vying for these early supply boosts is certainly something that you want to try and do. Now, it does look like I am losing the first round here. Not ideal. My crawlers managed to take down a tower, though. And it looks like we do have the most supplies. I'm sorry if I'm not fully focused because I'm trying to explain things and play at the same time. And as you will see, if it turns out that none of the players win, but instead it's the AI, well, then you end up with no one taking damage. So how do you win then? Well, currently in this build, the goal is to get to 5,000 points. So instead of diminishing the hit points of your opponents, you're trying to get points for yourself. And the way you do that is the same way you do in standard games, by ending up being the last player alive, and then you get points based on which one of your units still remain alive. The calculation seems to be the same as it is for standard gameplay. Here, what do? I could go Mustang, considering that we are up against these wasps. That's a level 2 melting point. That's a little scary. I'm almost considering taking Mustang here, just because it's good against both, and it's also slightly better against a Melter than a Wraith would be. I could run in with a Rhino. I'm happy with the steel balls on this side. I think we will go for this. Let's give it a try. I think we just do something like this. And then maybe buy another pack of Mustang over here. And then we could perhaps go for a mobile beacon. Oh, okay. I did something here which I completely forgot about. You actually start out with a mobile beacon in this game mode. You actually start out with a mobile beacon. I am not sure to whether or not this will be in the final build or not, but you actually start out with a mobile beacon, and in the current build, you don't have access to the sell button, but instead you have a sell button of your own from the very start of the game that is free. Everyone has it, but it only gives back 50% of the additional units cost. So it is a lot weaker than the normal sell button that you're used to have. And it's been replaced currently by Rhino Assault. Now, I know that there is some debate about whether or not this is going to be kept, because of course you can Rhino drop this either to annoy your opponents or to basically go for these towers, because I believe that you can drop that Rhino Assault in the middle of the map to get yourself an advantage, and that seems like a bit of an odd just a bit of an odd game design. But if it's still there, then at least you know about it. And it was a mistake here for me to buy a mobile beacon, because now I essentially have two. And so again, you can see as well like how many resources every single person is getting here. I am still at the top, which is good. And this is where things get a little bit crazy. I could go for triple mobile beacon. Okay, cool. This is where things get a little bit crazy, as there are bosses in this game mode. And from my understanding, the bosses will always try and go towards the strongest person. Here it might just be random, because neither of us have gotten points so far. But I am up against a death knell with crawler production and range enhancement. So a little bit scary stuff there. I'm also up against some marksmen. I think the steel balls here should do well. At least this thing doesn't have the insanely scary diffract that this unit sometimes has in survival mode. Okay, let's do something like this. I'm pretty happy with how everything is looking currently. I could click range on these. I'm not really looking at what my opponents are doing. You can flank in this game mode, by the way. But in the few matches that I have played, it hasn't really happened all that much. People seem to be more focused on trying to get the towers than worrying too much about getting flanked. But it is certainly something that you can consider doing. Let's pick up some more Mustangs, in fact, as I am running out of time here. Oy, oy, oy. Talking and gaming at the same time. I should have probably beaconed here as well, but you know, we're here for the chaos. We're here for the chaos. But yeah, this thing is scary. I'm not gonna lie. I might be in an okay spot if the ranged steel balls can somehow like lock onto this, but that's a tanky melter, man. Oh, it does have some diffracting. Interesting. Oh, it has 4 beams, I imagine. Okay. Ooh, I have some steel balls left, but I need these guys to get in front so that my steel balls actually can lock on and deal some damage. Okay, it looks like we're fine here. And killing this should give me a good amount of resources. Yeah, plus 320. Okay, look at that. So the person that has to deal with this, it's a little scary. And yeah, you could lose, but if you win, then you get even more resources. And it's really a lot about getting these resources early. And it feels like when a person gets ahead a lot, if they know what they're doing, they can just probably leverage their econ advantage, right? I mean, it's a pretty like trivial matter. Something that you would be trying to get as well in a standard game to a lesser extent. Just trying to get some economic wins over your opponent. So, in terms of what I think is good in this game mode, I said aggro is probably like pretty decent. Now you are leaving your towers open, but flanking, the problem with flanking early is that it doesn't necessarily do all that much. Like the other opponent will basically be using some of their resources to annoy you, but at the same time they'll also have less resources to spend on beating their AI opponent, as well as getting to those towers fast. And so in doing that, they might sabotage you, but they might also sabotage themselves and give the other players an advantage to get the towers early and get more econ. And then As a final thing, I think the types of units that are strong is air units are strong because there's just a limited amount of anti-air units in the game, and not everybody will have them or will be able to keep them alive as the round progresses. So having air units alive as basically all of this comes in is really good. And then another thing is units that can spawn units obviously is very valuable because these rounds can go on for quite long. As the battle progresses, goes in the center, some units go to the right, to the left. You might end up having to battle like the guy that's most opposite from you, the furthest away. So things like war factories, things like quantum reassembly, phoenixes, things like melters with crawler spawn or fortresses with fang spawn are probably going to be really, really powerful here. As I look at this, they actually added some new actives in this game mode specifically, and we get to see them here with the Scorpion Assault and a Summon Wraith. How interesting that is. I think I might skip them because I don't think I need them here, but I like the idea of it. That's interesting. Do I want to keep this? I think I'll sell it, and you can see I only get 150 from that. I mean, not ideal, but it'll just have to do. And I think I'm just going to mobile beacon these straight into the tower here since it is rather open. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to just send them. Maybe we can actually send them straight and then over here towards the middle tower to try and get some of those resources. Let's get this. Let's get ourselves a crawler. I don't think I would mind adding some phoenixes to the mix here. Let's try and be quick. I only have 10 seconds. And let's give them range, and I'll probably go for the charge shot very soon. I probably could have used my Rhino drop here as well to get some of these towers. But again, like the early rounds, it doesn't matter as much if you... I mean, if all of you lose and the AI wins, then the winner of that round out of the players will be the one that got the most... resources, either by killing a lot of the AI or by getting towards those towers, right? So I would highly recommend that that's what you focus on. And then again, in terms of units, air units are great. And units that can spawn stuff are great. Like here you can see these Stormcallers. Yes, they have, I mean, this is the AI, but let's say that this was your opponent's board. These Stormcallers can't do anything anymore, right? I mean, they can kill the ground units, but they can't touch the air units. So, like, having some of these Phoenixes around is really, really good. And you can see here how much money I'm getting. Like, look at that. I'm killing the AI as well because the bots, or some of the bots lost. And that's giving me even more economy. 1,600. Already, as we're getting even more, like 11, 12 here per kill on the storms. It can get really crazy. And so now you see it's round 5 and I have 2,800 supplies. It's quite crazy. Now, mind you, this is up against bots. So I am, you know, very, very favored to win here. And obviously, if you're playing against people of your own MMR range, this will not be as big of a difference. But if this remains like it is currently, I can expect some very, very big swings, some high tempo games where someone just runs away with it. Okay, what do we take here? I'm not a big fan of any of these. I mean, the selling stuff here is actually a lot less valuable now. We could just take the fortress because it's a big boy. He is slow though compared to all of our other units. The steel balls are doing a great job, so I'm gonna just level those. I'm not sure about this guy. We could just miss all this for the sake of it. Like, these are some high-level crawlers as well. I don't really want to deal with that if I can, like, prevent doing so. Let's get this, and then let's maybe just recruit some additional phoenixes here with the charge shot. I really have been liking charge shot phoenix. Not just in this, but in general. Really, really powerful units. Let's actually try and do something like this. And maybe we get a rhino drop, and I can show you guys that indeed you can't just drop this on top of the middle and get you some supplies to show you guys how that works. I don't think I'll get flanked, but, you know, let's just put a missile there, just, you know, just in case. And then let's beacon these over here towards the middle. I'm not sure if I want to keep the fortress here, but it's a big guy and it's good there against that specific Rhino setup that my AI was going for. You can see that this game mode, it's taxing on the PC. It's currently running fine, but I'm not running highest settings specifically because we would have a lot of lag. But yeah, it's a demanding game mode, unsurprisingly so, as you're playing with 4 different boards. I mean, look at this massive battle that's ensuing. Your units are going left and right. There is small units everywhere. It's absolute mayhem, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's something completely different. I like the way that they're going about this. And yeah, so far I have really enjoyed playing. It also opens up a completely different playstyle, right? There's a bunch of text that you would probably take in this game mode that you are unlikely to run if you're playing solos or even duos. Again, stuff like the Quantum Reassembly Phoenix is one of those. And now I'm starting to win quite big. That's 2,500 points there, or damage, however you want to call it. As, yeah, the game catches on quick and is like, yeah, buddy, that's not quite all right. Now, what do I go for here? Do I just put that on steel balls? I think I do. Like, look at these items, man. Like, ooh. We've been doing well economically, but the game has been rather kind to us. Do I go AA here? I think I do on those Mustangs. They are rather high level. Let's get all the levels we can. I mean, again, I have so much money there. It's ridiculous. It's madness. Let's missile these, because these are level 1 hackers. So this guy doesn't die. That would require too many missiles, but wait, that's a level 8 hacker. Do I just put a Phoenix here to snipe it? You know, I just might. I just might do that. I don't like that thing. That's a scary looking enemy, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, on certain rounds you will get attacked by the AI with a big boss. So basically to try and slow down or hamper the guy that is currently winning and being able to give the other players a chance. If you're strong enough, though, it's basically just another cash injection, right? Like, we can see once I kill these what will happen, but it's likely that I'm going to get a lot of money out of this. Okay, the missiles got those, and the snipe also went through. These are some of the experimental units, by the way, that we have grown accustomed to with the new survival mode from a couple months back. And yeah, they have interesting techs. But you can see here, plus 280. I'm already up to 1380 here. As we now progress, we got 2 of the towers as well. There is no middle tower on these specific rounds where there is a boss. And by the way, all of the towers are worth the same. You can click onto them to see how they progress. I'll make sure to put that in the comments down below. And show you guys what the progression is. Although, that being said, again, anything that I'm showing here could be subject to change very soon. I think that, broadly speaking, this game mode will remain the same. But it's... yeah, there's a bunch of things here that are likely to change. I like this. The fact that you start with a mobile beacon and inefficient recycling is very interesting. Again, I kind of misplayed there by buying the beacon, but, you know, creature of habit. And the inefficient recycling, I don't know. It's, you know, it's really punishing if you don't have a good start and you want to sell out. But then again... I think that against AI specifically, it's a little bit easier to win your rounds, because I mean, you know, look at these type of boards, like they go for some pretty wonky stuff sometimes. Like this as well is a board that should be beatable. But yeah, inefficient recycling definitely makes it so that things like free units are it's better to pick something that you want to keep, because selling it will have a lot less value, right? Like this fortress, it's 800 worth of supplies. I can only sell it for 400 here. If I have any use for this, that's going to be way better. So the focus is really on trying to build a board that will last you. And then I think that's about all I have to say. Again, currently there's a Rhino Assault on the tower instead of that sell button that was there previously. They might revert this. There's a chance that they remove Rhino Assault, because I think it's a bit of a weird active. I didn't flank any of my opponents here, but like as I said, the supplies that you get from killing the AI and killing the towers is worth so much more than trying to hamper, like, you know, trying to get a tower debuff on your opponents. Like if you're really ahead, sure, you can maybe do it, but it's just much better to just charge in the middle, get yourself 2 towers, maybe even a third, and get yourself ahead, right? Because once those towers are down, they're gone. That's your resources, which is interesting. It's a cool playstyle, but how it will work out in balancing, I don't know. As a final thing, they will actually have a separate MMR for this, so that's very cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what this will look like once it releases, and what the future patches will bring. Either way, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a like. Comment down below, what do you think of how this is currently looking? If you want to see this being played live, be sure to come and check me out on Twitch when I'm live. I will be playing this on the test server for the 2 days leading up to the release, and then we'll definitely be playing it once it goes live as well. With that being said, I thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.